Shooters, coming up next on the American Trigger Sports Network, we catch up to the Miculek family at the Rocky Mountain 3-gun, and they share some insight on shooting you don't normally see.
Jerry Miculek, and I'm from Princeton, Louisiana.
In the morning and the sun, I'm sweating bullets, got the one. Just last night in my Sunday best, thought I'd put them to the test. Had a feeling should not have gone, but after all I wrote this song. Consequently got no one, I'm sweating bullets in the sun. Sweating bullets in the sun. Could it be the road of angel? You lead me here. When my working day is done, I'm still alive, that battle's won. Never be more than this, it's an average guy I is. By 29, I've had my fun, I'm sweating bullets in the sun. Sweating bullets in the sun. Could it be the road of angel? You leave me here to burn. Could it be that I could be and forgotten myself to the beat of a life next to me? I've forgotten myself, take the place of my ecstasy. I've forgotten myself, take me to the place I've been waiting to see. I've forgotten myself. I've forgotten myself, yeah, oh child, yeah. I've forgotten myself. And in the night was in my head, till the death I got up there. With it on me, a whole lot more. When you're dead, what was it all for? Keeping up with the Joneses can't be fun. And the other day, what have you done?
So I'm pretty excited to be here. Smith & Wesson, of course, has been one of my main sponsors, so without their help, I wouldn't be here.
Why did you come here? Tell us. I mean, we're in Corpus Christi.
It's kind of a warm-up thing. I come down and visit some friends. We're going to go shoot some hogs. So it's going to kind of a business trip, hunting trip all in one. So. You're watching American Trigger Sports Network TV.
Hello, shooters. We're going up to stage 7. The Miculek family is up there. It's one of those difficult stages. I know that they were up there very early this morning, and they've been looking at that and preparing. So we're going to catch them shooting, and then we're going to talk to them. in this natural terrain, it's a little different aerobically than it is working those bunkers. I mean, you still have to breathe, but it seems like you need to think more about it when you're here than you do if you were shooting a bunker. Hey shooters, we're here on stage 7 and I have the Miculek family. Now this is something we don't often see. We have them all together. I don't know how long they've been shooting together. We're going to find out that and a few more things. But let's start with introducing the family.
Hi, I'm Lena Miculek.
I'm Kay.
Jerry Miculek.
Okay, now let me just begin by saying I don't see you often all together. Now is this, and I think you're setting a wonderful example to shooters. This is a family sport. We've always thought of it as a family sport, but we don't see whole families going out and actually participating. And I mean, you guys are the most photographed, interviewed people in the industry, and you're doing it as a family. Now, Jerry, was this a plan on your part?
Well, Lena's actually been doing junior competitions for the Sportsman Team Challenge for a number of years, probably 6-8 years now. So she has a lot of 22 rifle experience and some handgun experience. The 3-gun mix is a totally different environment because of the way you have to run, do presentations on different targets, and just gun management and stuff. So she's getting thrown right into the top end of the competitions, kind of on the low end. So it's a very abrupt learning curve, but she's picking it up really quick. So I'm impressed.
Okay, so this was a plan, right? But you would say that since it is a shooting family, that you knew eventually that you would all be shooting together in some competitions, right? I mean, you're kind of looking at me like, well, sort of like that, James, but not exactly.
Okay, we hoped so. We hoped that she would, eventually get interested enough to come and join us. And she does. Before this year, she would shoot 2, maybe 3 matches a year with us, the Sportsman's Team Challenge matches, and maybe go to a revolver match and shoot with Jerry. But that was about it. And then.
I mainly did that just because I knew I was going to be there on the range anyway, and I didn't want to be bored. So it was a lot. There's no practice.
Well, we all have our motivation, correct?
Yeah. But so this year she came up and said, you know what? I think that 3-gun looks like a lot of fun, and I'd like to do it. And so she's gotten serious about it. And this is her 4th 3-gun match. And I was telling her this morning after she had rather a disastrous stage on a rifle that turned out everybody did, but. I told her, most people go shoot a few club matches before they jump into the Rocky Mountain 3-gun. She has never shot a club match. She's just going right for the. We're jumping right into the top of the heap here.
Well, that's good because you've led me to the next question I was going to ask, and I just saw you do that run, Jerry, and you have to stay in shape and watch your diet. And I've seen the 3 of you move. Do you just get exercise on the range, or are you doing something to stay that way? Okay, next question. No, come on, Jerry. You move quickly up that hill.
I'm pretty much always on the range doing something. Okay. So my work is actually doing things. I'm always out physically on the range, mowing grass, or picking up trash, or doing props. I'm never sitting anywhere. Okay. So then we do a lot of competition, so we get these sprints. I'm not an endurance runner by any means, but within 1.5 minutes of start to stop, I can usually stay in there with just about anybody. So I'm pretty lucky there that I stay active enough to do that. So
okay, all right. So you're not all members of the gym, and you don't all go to the gym on Sunday when you're not shooting. No,
but I do put a little more effort into it than he does because I don't. Unlike him, I do sometimes stop and sit down and read a book or something, which he
doesn't.
He's not lying. He never stops. He's always going. So
all right, let's talk about diet. Are we conscious of diet?
I've had a pretty drastic diet change in the last couple of years. So I've done a lot of things different as far as what I'm eating all through the year. So
okay, now we all know that you're from Louisiana, so you got to be careful what you say here. You're going to alienate a lot of people.
The meat and stuff, I'm the same, but I've really cut back on the carbs really hard. Okay. I'm going for more saturated fats, staying away from the carbs and seeds, and just going that route. So it seems to be.
It looks like it's working.
Seems to be helping out a lot. My endurance is better. It just seems to be the right way to go. So for me.
All right, so how many of the competitions a year are you going to be shooting as a family? Is that a good question? Do you know what that would be?
What did we say, 13?
13.
Okay,
Yes.
so as a family, you're going to go to 13 you absolutely know of and you're sure of?
This year,
This year, right.
Yeah.
We kind of set a milestone for the family. We spent 21 days in a 23-foot motorhome, and we're still talking to one another. So that close proximity for that long period of time kind of means that you will get along. So,
Yeah, right.
And in this kind of environment, we have to swap equipment. We have to do this. Sometimes you have to do things you don't want to do and go with the other two members, and it's just the way a team works. So we have to
like
interact
the
as a team.
restaurant last night that we wanted to sit and he was about to pull his hair out.
I was gone. I'd have tell. Well, anyway.
Another story.
Okay, let me ask you this, though. Because we touched on the fact that this is a 3-gun, over the years, even I have noticed, and I'm not a real big 3-gun participant. I may be there, but, you know, I'm not working like you're working. I'm seeing that 3-gun is becoming more and more specific within the sport. And I mentioned this to Lena and Kay earlier, that, you know, a guy at home that goes out on Saturday and shoot bullseye, and then Sunday morning he wakes up and goes, hey, you know, I'm going to go do that 3-gun. I don't think that works anymore, does it?
No, they're getting a lot of young blood in this game, and it's getting very popular.
Yeah.
So it's drawing out some really good talent. What used to win this thing 8-10 years ago, that's not even going to be an honorable mention. So if you don't stay with the curve, stay with the young guys and watch what they're doing and try to stay with them with equipment changes and mental and training, you're not going to be here.
Shooters, we'll be right back.
So.
Yeah, let's just take a minute, because you're not fully, I mean, I think you can actually add more equipment to what you have. I think I've seen you with more equipment.
I have rifle magazines and stuff on.
Yeah.
You always have a lot of stuff on. Pistol, magazines, shotgun loaders. You have to have an AR pouch. You have a rifle on your back. So you have to have equipment that you can work with quickly. And the hard thing about it is getting to it.
Right.
If we're going to go to another stage where we're going to have to swap over. So your holster and your setups and where you put things. If you're forgetful, you won't be here long either.
Right.
So
exactly.
you have to have organization for everything, and it's really taxing on the person to stay in the moment mentally, and then picking up equipment. Where'd I put that pouch, and where's that sling, where's that ammo? So it's
right. So that helps as working as a team, because now at least you're all able to share some equipment, correct? Or is it kind of like, don't touch that, it's mine?
No.
It's best to have your own, but we definitely do share some. But being organized is definitely, and have a checklist.
Okay, I feel like Lena is going to say something here.
Oh, no, on the mental part.
On the mental part.
When you were talking about this is so many slugs when you're mixing bird and shot. Like the average person that comes out here from the range that's never shot this isn't going to be prepared mentally. This is such a mental game. I mean, we were out here we had to wake up at 5 this morning so we could come walk the stage at 6 o'clock right when it was sun.
We walked for a half hour,
for a half hour more than what we already walked, just to make sure we had this. Normal person isn't going to realize they need that.
Yeah, well, I think that's what I meant, was it's becoming very specific. Yeah. You've got to know this game.
You have to know your holdovers on your rifle out to 600 now.
Right, yeah.
So you got to know from 3 inches off your barrel to 600. You got to know where your slugs hit out to 100. You have to know where your pistol's going to hit out to 80 yards. It's just a lot of things.
So I don't think of it anymore as being a weekend sport where, you know, we've all worked in different jobs, and Saturday I'm going to meet you out there and we're going to do a 3-gun. I don't look at it that way anymore. I look at it more as a sport that, okay, we're going to do that Saturday over here, and we're going to do those bunkers for a while, and then maybe we're going to try the terrain maybe at the end of the year. I mean, this is one you kind of work into. It's not at least that's my feeling. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Absolutely. The Rocky Mountain 3-gun, if you're a brand new shooter and you come shoot this, it's going to be a disaster for you. But on the other hand, we just came from a camp up at Brownells where we did an introductory 3-gun camp.
Okay, good.
We had 24 shooters that some of them had never shot any type of movement or
long gun.
Action. And we set up very simple stages where, you know, it was pretty basic stuff. They had a great time, and I've already got emails back. Some of them were checking with the local clubs. They're going to get into it. But yes, if they had shown up here, oh my God, it would have been a disaster.
I mean, this is kind of like the top of the line. I admit that. Of all the 3-guns you go to, and bunkers aside, let's just talk about natural terrain. How many other natural terrain 3-gun events are as challenging as the Rocky Mountain?
Blue Ridge.
The Blue Ridge and this one. Those two are.
This is a totally different problem on how to address stages of fire. It's not flat terrain, so you have to. If I charge up the hill like a wild man and get there and can't hold my pistol anymore, I'd just soon have trotted up. So you have to have some kind of a mental, what am I going to do when I get there, kind of a philosophy.
This is definitely a thinking man's game, and not only that, I would guess, I'm just going to take a guess at it, you may have 10 $10,000 worth of equipment each.
Definitely
to do this, huh?
Definitely in the open category.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, it's easy to do that in open.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So,
Do I have that much?
Huh?
now Lena's pretty.
Yeah, you're pretty basic.
Yeah, I'm basic.
You're basic, so you're a little leaner on the equipment side because you can always borrow some.
Well, no, I can't borrow any from them.
You can't.
No,
Okay.
I mean all my shell carriers, my mag pouches for my handgun are different because I shoot the M&P. The only thing I can use is theirs is their AR mag pouches.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Everything else I have
I would
to
think
have.
then TAC Ops, you can still get into it for $3,000 or less and still have really good equipment.
Okay, because you just did this school. So if you just had this school about 3-gun, those people had to have asked you. If they saw Jerry and everybody else suited out like this, they had to look at you and go, "Oh my God, I don't know how much it cost me for the lesson, but I don't know if I can afford all the rest of it." It's a big deal.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Now the good side is there's a lot more manufacturers, so I do see the prices coming down, right?
You have a lot of choices. That's
You have a lot of choices.
and you know it's the difference in going top of the line. Some people may not be quite ready to jump in with, equipment that's absolutely. We now have an $1,800 scope on our rifle.
Right.
But I've shot it before with a $400 scope
and had just as much fun.
Had just as much fun. So
may not have walked out with the prize, but had great fun.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
All right.
What level do you want to be?
Shooters, we'll be right back. All right, so let me ask you this question. Is there any competition between, now you're in the motorhome, traveling around.
Oh, yes.
Okay?
I'll answer now.
Okay.
You don't even have to.
You get to watch, whoever loses washes the dishes, is that?
Well, no, because I've washed a lot of dishes.
Yes, we were a little competitive.
Okay.
Yeah, so,
Everything.
and now that doesn't mean I can come back and think, I'm going to try to beat Jerry. But I definitely have a percentage. I know I want to. If I'm really hot, if I ever get 80% of him, I'm like, okay, I'm there. I'll go back and do the math on this one we just did. I'm probably 74%.
Yeah, but
that's in my head. I'm going. That's a success. 74.
We've got a 30-minute rule.
Okay.
If you did good on the stage, you can brag about it for 30 minutes. That's over with. If you did poorly and your lips dragging, 30 minutes, shut up. I don't want to hear it.
I like that. That's great.
Go to bed. I'm the star. I'm a dog. I don't want to hear it no more. That's it. Let's go to the next stage. Let's shoot. Let's move on. So 30-minute rule. Everybody's happy.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure we had to have the 30-minute rule to make it on that 21-day trip of the motorhome.
Yeah, I'm sure. And the motorhome's kind of a recent purchase, right?
Yeah, that was just to test our marriage, basically. After 20 years.
And they're all here together.
Well, when Lena decided to come in and shoot 3-gun with us too, of course, Jerry and I were already shooting 3-gun, and now Lena add Lena's equipment plus all the ammunition.
You can't hardly
Oh my gosh!
Bigger motorhome.
Yeah, but we're starting small. Maybe.
All right. Well, I think it's getting to rain us out here, and I know you've got another. You're going to catch a little lunch.
Yep.
Going to another stage. How many stages have you shot so far? Quickly.
This is 5.
This is the 5th one.
5th one
over the
total.
hump.
Yeah, 2 to
3
go.
yesterday.
So yeah, you are over the hump.
Yep.
Of the stages you've shot, what did you think of this one?
Well, I've done pretty good. I like this one. Everything went smooth.
Now,
So-
It looked harder than what it was.
Yeah.
okay, because it does look hard.
But we
Yeah.
spent an hour and something just walking up and down, looking at it. If I'd have came here and you gave me 5 minutes to run it, it would have been totally,
Yeah.
you'd had to approach it
Disaster.
different. But after you memorize, and that's part of the game here, is have access to the stages so you can have your priorities on how you're going to do things.
Okay, so you set up. You guys come 5 o'clock. You come early. You look at the stages,
Yep.
and you go, okay, folks, this is how we're going to shoot it.
Yep.
And everybody shoots it that way.
Not necessarily. She's got different equipment, different ammo count, different guns.
Different skill level.
So she has to swap. And that's one of the hard things when I'm walking through. She's asking me what I do here. And when you get an imprint in your brain, when you're walking through, it's I'm sorry, but it's there. So I'm kind of going, I'm not seeing you. Okay, I'm talking to you. I'm not seeing you. I don't want to talk to you right now. Come back 3 minutes. We're going to do it again. I don't want to have an imprint of the wrong gun.
Right.
Because we shoot different divisions sometimes,
Yeah.
and you have to mix it and match it so that the ball bearings between your ears, you don't want them bouncing around in the wrong direction. So it's really hard. It's fun, though. It kind of keeps you honest. So it's hard, but it's fun. So
yeah, and we don't even like to really get in there when you guys are getting ready to shoot. You know, we just tell you that there'll be a camera around, and you actually have the option of saying, James, I'd rather you didn't. I'm really nervous on it, and we wouldn't do it. So we do appreciate the fact that you allow us to do that, and that you've given us the time here today.
Yeah.
And good luck to all of you.
Was there a camera on that stage when I shot it?
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
You might want that footage later.
You told me that, but when the beat goes off, I don't know anything.
No, we don't. You know, you're concentrating on one thing, and we're trying to stay out of the way. We don't want you to leave here and say, you know, if it wasn't for that cameraman, I don't want that part of that 30-minute beef.
If I can't live with a camera on, I shouldn't be here.
You know, in the way this family is, you guys are always going to have cameras, and
that's it. Part of the game.
So yeah, it's part of the game. And thank you, because you're setting a great example for the rest of the country, and you're giving classes. I know you have a range at home. I'm hoping one day you'll invite us out. But anyway, we'll come out sometime. And so thank you for everything you're doing for the shooting sports.
Appreciate you being here. Thank you.
Good luck on the rest.
Thank you.
All right, we'll see you again. Shooters, it's a rare privilege for us to be able to sit down with the Miculek family and talk about some of the things that go on in their life. They shared some insight with us. We enjoyed being with them, and I'll have another show for you next week.